Hi everyone, it's Kim. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. Today I'm bringing you a really quick grocery haul. I didn't grab a lot because I'm still working on trying to use up some of the things from my freezer. So I'm going to turn you around, show you what I have, and I may just go ahead and combine this with a small meal prep today. So I just may give you both on this video. So let me turn you around and I'll show you what I got. Okay, the first thing I did is I grabbed another bag of the Fuji apples. Grabbed some bananas. You can tell they're green this week, so I must have went to the grocery store by myself. Grabbed some shredded lettuce. We're going to use this for the burrito bowls this week. 2 packages of the tri-colored coleslaw. I'm going to be mixing up some coleslaw to go along with my husband's sandwiches this week. Some light potato bread, the Aunt Millie's brand. This is 2 SmartPoints for 2 pieces. And again, I've told you time and time again, that one's my favorite. I also picked up another thing of the Healthy Life hot dog buns, and those are 2 SmartPoints each, and I grab those about every other week because they come in super handy when I'm making my chili dogs. Okay, so the next thing I picked up was some spicy brown mustard, and that's 0 SmartPoints. I also grabbed some tortillas. I have the Extreme Wellness high fiber wraps, and then I picked up some of these Ortega tortilla flour tortillas. Now I wanted to take a second and explain these really quick. The Ortega flour tortillas are 4 SmartPoints each. I did not double these to find out how many 2 or 3 would be with Weight Watcher math. But I just wanted to show you the difference. These Olay Extreme Wellness wraps, I can have 3 of them for 3 points or 4 of them for 5 points. So I can have 1 of these, or I can have 3 of these. It's kind of a no-brainer, right? Also picked up some deli fresh smoked turkey breast. I know these scanned points, I count them as 0 because based on what information I was given, as long as it is 98% fat-free or higher, it's 0 SmartPoints. So that's what we're going to call it. I grabbed some crescent rolls. I didn't scan these. I'll put the points in right here as to what these are. And I grabbed 2 of those for our chicken pot pie this week. Tostito scoops. And these, I think, are 4 SmartPoints for 1 serving, and 1 serving is approximately 13 chips. I also picked up some seasoning for the chili. We're making chili this week. You'll see that in just a second. And I picked up some gravy mixes because we were out of it. So I have some brown turkey and chicken gravy, and that is 1 SmartPoint per serving. And then I picked up some chili seasoning mix, and that also is 1 SmartPoint per serving. The next thing I did is I grabbed some saltine crackers, and again, that's for the chili. As soon as I can spin it around here. 7 crackers, 2 SmartPoints, 12 crackers, 4 SmartPoints. Have some turkey, no beans, Hormel chili here. 1 cup, 4 SmartPoints, half cup, 2 SmartPoints, and a half cup is plenty enough for 2 chili dogs. Cream of chicken and cream of mushroom soup. 6 points for the whole can of cream of chicken, and 5 points for the whole can of cream of mushroom. Have some chili beans, and those are 10 SmartPoints per can. Pinto beans, 0 SmartPoints. Dark red kidney beans, 0 SmartPoints. Stocked up on those. Also have some petite diced tomatoes, and those are 0 SmartPoints. Also grabbed some Thomas Bagels for my husband, and those, in case you were wondering, are 8 SmartPoints each. And during meal prep this week, I think I'm going to go ahead and whip up myself a batch of the 2-ingredient bagels as well. Tomato sauce and some more of those petite diced tomatoes. I like to keep those on hand for, you know, just in case I want to make soups or anything like that. I also grabbed some extra chili powder just in case. I was out of lemon juice because I made a new recipe this week and I used up what I had along with the kosher salt. I had used up the last of that as well. I think this box is going to last me forever. Now for my personal products this week, I always bring those in at the end. I grabbed some more of the foundation, and that is the Maybelline Fit Me brand. And I really like this color. It's the natural beige. This one fits me very well. And then I'm trying out some new eyeliner this week. So I have these two eyeliners that I'm going to give a try. And that's it. All right, so stay tuned. Like I said, I'm probably just going to go ahead and film my meal prep along with my grocery haul this week and merge the two of those together because I think I'm just going to do a small meal prep this week. All right, so stay tuned and we'll get started on that next. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to get my boiled eggs started. So I'm just going to scooch you over a little bit so you can see inside my Instant Pot. I've got about 1.5 cups of water in here. And then I have my steamer basket. I don't know why. It's just so much fun to play with. All right, so I'm going to set that inside there. I'm going to open that up. And then I'm going to put some eggs. I have some large eggs today. So I'm just going to start placing those right into the basket. And I found that it doesn't matter really how many eggs you put in here. It's just they cook. You don't have any problems with it. I'm going to throw in 10 today, just so I have extra. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw the lid on. These are like the easiest things to make. Going to make sure that my knob is on sealing, and this is what I mean by the knob here. If it's forward, it's on venting. If it's backwards, it's on sealing. And different models are different ways, but this is the way this one works. And today, gotta get my cord that's underneath it. Today we're gonna be using the 5-5-5 method, meaning that I'm going to go ahead and cook these in my Instant Pot on high pressure for 5 minutes. I'm gonna let it do a natural release for 5 minutes, then I'll let the steam out, and then I'm gonna dump it right into an ice bath and leave that in there for 5 minutes and get them peeled. So I might pop back on and show you how easily they peel. But for the time being, let's just go ahead and get this started. I'm gonna hit my manual button. I'm going to back this down to 5 minutes. And we're just going to let that go. So stay tuned and I'll show you what's up next. Okay, our time's up. We're going to go ahead and let the steam out of our Instant Pot. And then once that pin drops, I'm going to go ahead and start dumping these into an ice bath. All right, now that our pin has dropped, I'm going to go ahead and open our Instant Pot. Steam up my phone. Sounds like a good plan. So here are our eggs. You can see they all look good. So I'm just going to start pulling them out, and then I'm going to dump them right into my ice bath. Thought it might be easier just to kind of hold my phone while I did that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of these in here and then start my timer for 5 minutes, and then I will come back to you when I peel them. Okay, I'm just going to peel a couple of these eggs so I can show you how easy they peel. So hopefully I'm... perfectly peeled almost every single time. There's another one. I don't know about you, but sometimes I peel them and I peel half the egg away. So you can see how easy those peel, and that's one of the reasons why I like making them in my Instant Pot. So you should give this a try. If you have an electric pressure cooker, you should really give this a try. I think that this is one of the first things that I made when I got my Instant Pot. And like I said, every single time they just come out perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the rest of these peeled and see what's up next on my list. Okay, next up we are going to do my overnight oats, and I'm sure you've seen this before, so I'm going to speed through most of this and not chit-chat a whole bunch. But today I thought I would make pumpkin pie, overnight oats, as well as apple pie overnight oats. Now, I make these all the time because they're good, I can change up the flavor, and I enjoy them. I mean, I'm sure some of you are thinking, isn't she getting tired of overnight oats yet? I'm really not. I just seem to, it's one of those things that it just, again, they tide me over, they keep me full, and they're good. I mean, honestly, they're good. So I'm just gonna chop up an apple here, and I'm just separating that into two different piles. And you know what? Comment below if you have tried one of my variations of overnight oats. Let me know in the comments below. Now, we talk about my overnight oats in my Thursday night class that I teach at Weight Watchers. I'm sorry, at WW. I'm never going to get used to that. So, we talk about it all the time about how you can choose the proper foods, or you can choose the best breakfast to kind of tide you over. And with this one being so easy to make on Sunday and have it ready for the week, it just makes it a whole lot easier. So I'm going to go ahead and throw half an apple in one and half an apple in the other. And I try to use a smaller apple when I do this so that it's not a ton of apple. But if it isn't, that's okay too. Alright, so I'm going to start layering my ingredients in now. So 2 jars with apple, 2 jars without. Gonna throw my funnel, and that is my canning funnel if this is your first time watching. So, same mixture. I've got a 1/3 cup of old-fashioned oats. Just gonna throw that in each jar. And people have asked also why I do this in jars. It just seems like it's easier to heat when I heat these in the microwave before I eat them. And the heating instructions on these are, I cook them in the microwave for 1 minute, I stop it, I stir it, and then I cook it for another 30 seconds. Sometimes 30 to 45 seconds depending on what I have in the jars. And the reason why I do that is because of the fact that if you cook it for a full 1.5 minutes, 9 times out of 10 the jars are going to overflow in your microwave, and that's never fun to clean up. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to add in is 1 packet of sweetener. I'm using Sweet and Low. You can use any sweetener that you like. So I'm just going to add this to each of them. And again, same base recipe that I use on every single overnight oats that I make. Okay, so I have a 1/4 teaspoon here. I'm going to use a 1/4 teaspoon of the apple pie spice, and I'll show you that in just a second. It looks like this. It's by McCormick's. And I really like this. It's got a really good flavor, and it does make it taste like apple pie. And then I have pumpkin pie spice. And I have the Kroger brand. I also have a McCormick's brand, but I'm trying to use this one because I already had this one open. And I don't know about you, sometimes I have like 3 of the same spice open at the same time. Alright, so I'm just going to do the same thing. 1/4 teaspoon of that in here into my pumpkin pie ones. Now for my pumpkin pie ones, I'm also going to add a splash of imitation vanilla. I don't really measure that. I just kind of put a couple little splashes in and it seems to be okay. I've never put too much or too little in because you can always really taste it. Okay, so the last thing I think I have to put in, I'm just gonna turn my water on here really quick, is I have some unsweetened vanilla almond milk, and I just get this brand here from Costco. It's just the Kirkland brand. And I like this because it comes in a 6-pack and it's non-refrigerated, so you don't have to refrigerate it until you use it. So it just makes it super simple to have on hand all the time. So I'm going to use approximately a 1/3 cup of the unsweetened vanilla almond milk, which is going to be 0 SmartPoints, and about another 1/3 cup of water. And the reason why I do that is because when I use all almond milk, it just seems like, I don't know, maybe it's too thick, too creamy for me. You could go ahead and choose to use all almond milk if you like. 1 cup of the vanilla unsweetened almond milk is 1 SmartPoint. So if you're using extra, just make sure that you adjust the points for it. Now the two different flavors of overnight oats that I have here are 3 points each. So this is going to be a 3 SmartPoint breakfast for myself. And I'm only taking 4 because of the fact that I do not need a breakfast on Friday. I have a dentist appointment on Thursday, and it's a pretty extensive dentist appointment, so I am probably not going to be eating oatmeal on Friday morning. So this is our overnight oats. I'm going to go ahead and throw the tops on each of these jars, and then we'll see what's next. Okay, next up we're going to do egg sandwiches, but before I get started on those, I wanted to show you something I bought a couple of days ago. Check these out. How cool are these? Has anybody tried these yet? I threw them in my fridge. I'm going to leave them, I don't know, I think you have to leave them on your counter or something when you're getting ready to eat them, and then they ripen up or something. So I'm going to read the directions on these again, and I'm going to try these in the next 2 days. So I'm pretty excited to try these. Supposedly they don't have like a fuzzy outside like a regular kiwi, but they taste just like a kiwi. So that's pretty exciting, right? Yes, I don't know about you, but I find it very interesting when I find things that I never even knew existed. So I just thought it was pretty cool and thought I should share, because maybe you've seen them, maybe you haven't. And if you haven't, it's something new for you too. So I'm gonna grab a couple little bowls out here and get started on our egg sandwiches. Today I thought I would give him something a little different and throw some hash brown potatoes in them. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you want to spray your egg cookers, because if you don't, you won't forget a second time, trust me. It's not fun when you have to try to figure out how to clean those and the eggs stuck to it, and trust me, again, not fun. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and start cracking these eggs. Not sure about this angle. I'm trying a new angle for you today to see if this is better. I know sometimes my arm gets in the way. If I have it on the counter, depending on which counter I have it on, it kind of jiggles. So I'm trying the new tripod out to see if it's a little better. Alright, so I've got my eggs in here. I'll give my hands a quick little whoosh. Just going to move these eggs out of the way for now. So I'm going to throw some salt and pepper into each of these containers. My husband's not a huge salt fan, so I'm just going to throw a little salt, but he is a pepper fan. Now, I've been cutting this part out of my last couple of videos because of the fact that I do show my eggs quite often, because this is one of the things that I prep every single week. And I thought, since I've been cutting it out lately, maybe I should add it in today. So if you've seen my egg sandwiches before, go ahead and just fast forward through this part. If you haven't seen my egg sandwiches, then I will continue on. So far I have egg, salt, and pepper in there. The next thing we're going to add in are these bacon crumbles, and I picked these up at Costco. And these are 1 SmartPoint per tablespoon. And they seem to be really, I mean, my husband really likes them a lot. It gives him just enough bacon flavor to where it's just a nice bacon, egg, cheese, and today, potato, egg sandwich, egg McMuffin, egg, I don't know what you call it, egg something. So today I'm using these shredded hash brown potatoes, and these are, I think, 1 SmartPoint per 1 1/4 cup or something like that. I'll scan it if it's different than 1, but here's the label. But I think that's what it is. We're definitely not going to be using much of this in there. I'm going to probably use 2 tablespoons. That's not even going to be enough to even justify any type of points. But I just think it'll be a nice little change up from his regular egg and bacon sandwiches. Now I've made this when I made my egg casseroles. I've put potatoes and things like that in it, and they've been really good. So we will see. The good thing with my husband is that no matter what I make, he pretty much will just eat it. I mean, if it's not great, he'll inform me that, hey, maybe we shouldn't have this again, but at least he'll give it a try and lets me know his opinion. So that's a good thing. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give this one a quick little stir. I'm going to put these in the microwave for 55 seconds. I may do these for a minute because I do have frozen potatoes in there. I think I'm going to go for a minute and we'll see how that goes. And I will be back at you when this part's done. Okay, hopefully you can hear me over my microwave. But 1 minute seemed to work out really good. I'll kind of bring you in a little bit closer. And I just pull these out and set them on a plate to cool. Now when you make these, you want to make sure that your eggs cool completely. You don't want to put them on your English muffin when they're still warm, because of the fact that if you do, your English muffin will get soggy and your sandwich is not going to be that great. So 1 minute, I don't know if I said that, 1 minute worked well. So I'm going to put my last one in here. Just make sure that there's no clumps of the potato. That looks good. And then I'm going to throw this in when this other one finishes for 1 minute. And then I will move on to something else. So I'm going to go over there and flip this around and I'll be right back. Okay, you know what time it is, right? That's right, it's bagel time. I'm gonna go ahead and whip up some bagels. I've got my non-fat Greek yogurt here, along with some pumpkin pie spice, some gold medal self-rising flour, and some sweet and low. So I'm gonna go ahead and start this. I may film a little bit of this, but I'm gonna cut it out. I'm not gonna show you the whole thing because I just did this video like a week and a half ago, and I will link that video below if you'd like to go back and watch that. But I figured we would talk through a little bit of this just to kind of get you up to speed and give you a quick little preview. Okay, so we're gonna start off with just shy of a cup of the Greek yogurt. Give that a quick little stir. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and measure out, again, just shy of a cup. And anytime you're making the bagels, the 2-ingredient dough, I mean, whatever you're making with the 2-ingredient dough, it's equal parts of the yogurt and the flour. Now, I try to go a little shy on the yogurt so that my dough is not so sticky. it seems like when I do the equal parts, the dough is a little too sticky to work with. And then I end up adding more flour, and if you add more flour, that adds more points, and it just gets into a crazy cycle there. All right, so got that in my bowl. I'm gonna measure out a cup of flour. Now, depending on the flour that you have, be super careful because some of the flour is a half cup for 6 points and some of it's a half cup for 5 points. Now, the last time I checked, the gold medal flour was 5 points for a half a cup. So anytime I try to make these, I try to have the gold medal on hand. Now, I was out of it and I couldn't find it at my store, and my friend Elizabeth was going to a different store and said that they had it there, so she actually picked it up for me. So thanks, Elizabeth, if you're watching. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of stir that up just a bit. And then I'm gonna add my Sweet and Low. You can add between 4 and 6 packets of Sweet and Low. Again, you're only getting about a packet per bagel, so it's not that bad. But with these are a sweeter bagel, and I like mine sweet. So again, you can use any 0-point sweetener that you have. And there we go. I think I'm gonna add 5 today. All right, have that in there. I'm gonna grab a teaspoon measuring spoon. And we're going to put a teaspoon of the pumpkin pie spice in there. And that's the same pumpkin pie spice that I just used for my overnight oats. So I'm just gonna grab a heaping teaspoon of that and put that in. And then I'm going to start to mix this up and start to form my bagels. So I might just insert a couple of pictures in between just so that you don't have to watch that, and I can make this video not so stinking long for you today. All right, so I'm going to shut the camera off, and like I said, I'll take some pictures as I'm going through. Okay, our bagels are done. I'm going to pull the last 2 out. There we go. I'm going to let those cool. I'm going to put those in the fridge once they're done. I'll scooch you over just so you could, sorry. And there we go. 4 pumpkin spice bagels that I can snack on during the week. And these are 3 SmartPoints each. Maybe 2 SmartPoints. These ones might actually be 2, not 3, because of the fact that I had the right dough. So yay, 2 SmartPoints. All right, so let's see what's next. Okay, our eggs have cooled, but I've run into a little bit of a dilemma. So I thought I had a full pack of my Healthy Life English muffins at home. These are the ones I'm using today. But apparently, look, there's only 2 in the package. So I'm going to go ahead and make 2 breakfast sandwiches today, and then I will put the eggs in a separate container and go to the store in the next day or 2 and pick up the rest of the English muffins that I need. So no big deal. At least I've got 2 ready. That gets me through Monday and Tuesday for my husband. I'm just going to go ahead and slice these in half. I know I can pull them apart, but it seems like every time I pull them apart, I rip one in half, and it's just a big mess. So it's always easier for me to do it this way. All right, so I have those in half. I'm going to take a piece of Velveeta cheese, and it's just a regular Velveeta cheese slice. And I put half of this on each sandwich. And if you're new to my channel, this might be just something new that you're learning today. If you're one of my regular subscribers, you'll already know this trick. But I put half on each because of the fact that if you put a whole piece of cheese on these sandwiches, it just melts off your sandwich in the microwave, and you just end up wasting it anyway. So half works perfect, and you really can't taste the difference. All All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put these in their containers and we'll see what's up next. Okay, next up I am going to mix up some coleslaw for my husband to go alongside his sandwiches this week. So what I have here is I have a 1 pound package of just the tri-colored coleslaw, which you've seen in my grocery haul earlier. So I'm going to dump that entire bag into a bowl. And I'm not sure if I've done this on my channel or not. I know I make this quite often, I just don't know if I've ever done this during a meal prep. All right, so the next thing I'm going to add in is a 1/2 cup of Miracle Whip Light. Hopefully you're getting that. And when I first started making this recipe, it did call for more, but I found that a 1/2 cup is perfect for this recipe. And a 1/2 cup of the light Miracle Whip is 5 SmartPoints. So the coleslaw is going to come up to be 1 SmartPoint per serving. Okay, that's good. Now I've noticed today, now normally I pull out my Sweet and Low one time during videos, and it's normally for my overnight oats. Today, this will be the 3rd recipe I've used it in, and it is such an odd thing because I don't normally use this much Sweet and Low. It just seems like the recipes that I'm doing today have all called for it. So super weird. All right, so I'm just gonna dump this in. I'm gonna add some pepper. You don't need a lot of pepper because that coleslaw does get, I don't know, it seems like it has a spicy taste all its own. I'm gonna add some salt. I'm going to add in 4 packets of Sweet and Low. And yes, you do need some type of a sweetener in this. Otherwise, it doesn't taste as good. So that's 2. Here's the other 2. And then I'm going to go ahead and mix this up. Now, as you get this pulled together, it's going to seem like it might be just a little bit dry, but trust me, as this sits in your fridge overnight, it's perfectly fine. So I just mix it until it's incorporated. Hopefully I've got a good angle on that. Sorry. Pull you in a little more. So I just mix it till it's incorporated, until it looks good. And then what I'll do is I'll take a 1 cup measuring cup and I'll start to put this into bowls. And it usually gets like 4 to 5 servings. I think it's 5 total I've gotten out of it. So 5 servings, 1 point each. I think that's a pretty good change from some of the other side dishes that you have. Plus, if you're having, like, I don't know, burgers or hot dogs or something and you're looking just for a cold side dish, this works great. And it has a really, really good flavor. I actually received this recipe a while ago from my leader, Susan. And I've just been using it all these years. I've adapted it and changed it up a little bit, but pretty much is her recipe. So it's worked out great. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get some bowls and start to put these in our bowls. Okay, I'm gonna scooch you out here. I've got some bowls. Got a 1 cup measuring cup. We're just gonna start dishing this out. I said I'm expecting 5 servings out of this, so I'm just gonna go ahead and pull 5 bowls out. And I just start to scoop that out and then I just put it into my bowls. And the good thing is these are 1 cup bowls that I have here. I think they're made by Glad. I love these little bowls. I bet you're never gonna guess where I found them. Come on, 3 guesses. 1, 2, 3. Yep, Menards. I find the coolest stuff there. I know it's kind of funny. Okay, that's 4. I wouldn't be me if I wasn't spilling stuff on the counter, right? So I'll just divide up this last little bit into some of the containers that look like they might be a little light. Then we'll pop the lid on it and we'll throw them in the fridge. Doesn't take long at all, does it? All right. So if you were gonna serve this like for dinner, I would at least make this an hour beforehand, just so it has time to marinate and all the flavors have time to meld together. All right, I'm gonna throw the lids on these and I'll see what's next. We're coming to the home stretch, I think. Okay, I just finished putting together my husband's sandwiches. I'm gonna get these bagged up. I didn't figure it was worth the time to bore you with how to make a sandwich because it's a sandwich and I'm sure everybody knows how to make a sandwich. So I just thought I would show you that they're done and then I will move to my next item. I also thought I would fill you in. Here is our venison chili just going on the stove over here. I've got this simmering on low. My husband had put this together, so I didn't film this because he still won't let me catch him on camera. So we have our venison chili. We have a huge pot, like a huge pot. I'm gonna have to freeze some of this, I'm sure. All right, so I know that I mentioned that we were making chili in the grocery haul, so I just wanted to kind of fill you in. Here it is. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna put together are some snack bowls. Now, I had seen Amanda Seipert, I think that's how you say her name. Sorry, Amanda, if I'm butchering that. Put together some snack bowls. So I thought I would go ahead and put these together this week. She did it on her channel. I'll try to remember to link her channel below. But she did this on her channel and they looked phenomenal. So I'm gonna go ahead and place a boiled egg in each of these smaller containers. I was gonna put them all together, but then I started thinking that I didn't want the rest of my ingredients to smell like eggs, so it might be easier just to throw these in the smaller containers. So we're just gonna pop a lid on each of these and set these aside. And then we're gonna start to build our other portion of our snack. So I thought I would throw in some carrots into each of my bowls. Let's put these Baby Bells in first. I'm gonna throw a Baby Bell in each of these, and these are the light Baby Bell 1-point cheese. I'm gonna throw in a few carrots into each one. Okay, that's good. Gonna throw in a couple of grapes, and I had went ahead and took my grapes off the stems and just threw them into a bag. And these are those famous cotton candy grapes. They are so good. So I just thought I would just throw a handful of those on top. Again, just a little something different. Now normally I would take just the grapes for a snack, but I thought that she had a great idea because if I did this, I would have more of a variety versus just taking some grapes. That looks good. Now, since I don't have wax paper, I'm going to use a piece of parchment paper. I'm going to grab my scissors here really quick. So I'm going to take a piece of parchment paper and I'm just going to layer that right on top of each of these. And you really don't have to do this, but I'm doing that because when I layer in my turkey pepperoni, and that's here, you can see that there's 15 for 1 SmartPoint or 25 for 2 SmartPoints. So I'm going to count out 15 onto each of these. So I'm going to do the first one and then I'll just do the rest off camera because I'm sure you don't want to sit here and watch me count out 15 pepperoni on each of these. Okay, that's 15. So I've got that in there. I've got my pepperoni on top. I can throw a lid on these. And then I have a great yummy snack that's ready to go with some carrots, some grapes, a Baby Bell cheese, some turkey pepperoni, and an egg. all for, that's right, 2 SmartPoints. So this is a 2 SmartPoint snack that will power me through my afternoon. So I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of these together. And I think that's it. I think I'm going to wrap this up here. If I do anything else, it will totally be off camera. It's getting to be late. I want to wrap this up, start cleaning up my kitchen, and anything else that I have to do, I can always do it tomorrow night. That'll give me time to be able to edit this video and throw it together. Now, just know that I have some fun stuff in store for you. I did mention that I have a dentist appointment on Thursday, and it's actually with the oral surgeon. So I have that. And I pre-filmed some things just to kind of keep you going so that you will have something fun to watch while I am down for the count for a couple of days. All right, so with that said, I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you so much for watching. And for those of you who are new, I hope you like what you see. And for those of you that have stuck with me for the past, what has it been, 8 months now since I've started this channel, thank you so much. I am having a blast making these videos for you, and I hope that you're having just as much fun watching them. All right, so with that said, have a great day. We'll see you next time. Bye.